Hey guys, welcome back to Dipswitch Demos. My name is Jackson and today we are checking out the Shotmaker Heroine Deluxe. I'm always really excited to hear about new pedal brands and new projects. Shotmaker or Shotmaker Instruments is out of Poland. I actually think he's Canadian, a Canadian living in Poland, and he's brought out a really sweet pedal, or couple of pedals. Here we have the deluxe version. There was also a slightly more simple standard Heroine as well. Now, instead of jumping straight into what this pedal actually is, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my experience when I first opened the box and plugged it in. I do pretty much the same as I do with all pedals when I'm testing them out for the first time. I set everything to 12 o'clock and see what we get. And I did that with this pedal, and first impressions was like, okay, we have a pretty high gain distortion pedal here, quite a lot of top end going on. It's a cool punchy overdrive sound, distortion really. It was much higher gain than I was expecting. After those 5 or 10 minutes with it, I put it in the box ready for when I'm ready to kind of get to know it a bit more and shoot the demo. And then I sent a few emails back and forth with the guy from Shotmaker, and he kind of explained to me how the control layout works and sort of what's going on inside here, and I really got intrigued by the way this is working. This has arguably one of the most interactive kind of control layouts that I've experienced from an overdrive distortion pedal before. The way I've interpreted it is almost like 3 different gain volume controls. We have master, pre, and sustain 1. We have sustain 2, but that's sort of the other side of the pedal. Your master is technically your overall volume, but as you do crank it up, you introduce a bit of sort of clipping and overdrive. Your pre is also another really interesting control, and that selects the input gain going into the pedal. And then we have sustain. Again, this introduces a whole other world of gain to the pedal. Combining all 3 of those controls, you pretty much have infinite drive, preamp, fuzz, distortion tones. There's a lot of things going on inside this pedal, and I actually think it shines when you do use some of those lower gain tones, which is what I didn't get, setting everything at 12 o'clock. You've really got to tweak it and find the sweet spots in this pedal for your rig. like I said, I'm loving the lower gain tones. Punchy, tight, bright, and yeah, really great for just rocking out on some like big open chords. A few more controls on here to do with a bit of EQ. You have a high cut, which is an interesting choice here. As you roll it up, you roll off high end. Then we have a bright switch in the middle here. I wouldn't say this is actually adding a load of top end at all. This really, to me, feels more like a bias switch, changing the way the pedal feels under the fingers. And then the final knob is the one we have that makes this the deluxe version. We have sustain 2. Essentially you can set 2 levels of gain from the sustain knob and switch between them, like a 2-channel overdrive essentially. How I've been using this is I have the sustain 1 all the way off, using it as more of that kind of preamp overdrive thing, using the master and pre-controls. And then sustain 2, I have cranked a bit more, maybe just above halfway, to introduce some of that fuzzy tones. And bang, thick, woolly fuzz, and it's a lot of fun. So as you can tell, there's a lot going on here, and there's a lot of different tones in here. Arlen from Shotmaker actually put in his email to me. He's not actually sure how to describe this pedal yet. He told me that this is completely designed from the ground up as well, so that's not something you see a lot these days. Completely unique drive circuit. He was like, I don't know whether to describe it as a preamp, a fuzz, and a distortion, a fuzz driver sort of thing, like a blend between a fuzz and a drive. And I'm completely with him. I'm not sure where this pedal sits in that sort of gain range. It does a little bit of everything and doesn't suffer in either one of those categories either. It's not often that you see a brand new pedal builder coming out the gates hitting as hard as this pedal hits. Build quality is also super nice. I love the sort of, I don't know what I would call it, big flake metallic finish. It almost looks like raw metal, but I do think there's like a metallic flaky finish on there, and then a nice clean faceplate on top. It's a super clean looking pedal. Build quality is nice too. So we have to get some tones with it. Enough yammering on. I'm going to be playing my Music Man Cutlass into this, HSS, best of both worlds, humbuckers and single coils. Going into the pedal and then into the Victory V40 setup clean. So all the dirt and drive and fuzz is you're hearing from the pedal. The amp is then going into my Boss Waza tube amp expander, which is where all the reverb's coming from, and also emulating a 212 cab mic'd up with a ribbon and an SM57. And then that's going into my Universal Audio Apollo Solo audio interface, and then into Logic, and that's what you guys are hearing. Thanks guys for checking out the video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and maybe check out some more, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.